Hey YouTubers, Rival X Factor here with some balanced bow gameplay on Karkand. And a couple of the minions and I, we decided to take a challenge. You know, pick a weapon and go with it, and balanced bow was the winner. And you're going to hear something in the background. Yep, that's the sound of a new keyboard. I'm going to talk about why I switched off the K60, or actually was forced to switch off the K60. And as you can see, I'm using the balance bow. So this is the more accurate sniper type bow, and just traded with the old pistol shot there. And there's some huge trade-offs to using these bows. So they're not OP by any means. And if somebody kills me with a bow, kudos to you, because this shit is hard to use. And due to two reasons. One, the velocity. I can throw a hamster harder than these bows shoot. I actually shoot a bow. And my bow shoots a little bit faster than this one. I have a single recurve, a true man's bow. My mother actually has a crossbow. My mother's a petite woman. She's 106 pounds. She was runner-up to Miss Michigan way back in the day. Very pretty, prissy little thing. She shoots a crossbow. That thing's heavy. It probably weighs a good 20 pounds, I'd say. It's a beast. It's a lot more bulky than this thing is. It's got a pretty kick-ass thumb guard, because the big fear is you shoot that thing, you take off your thumb. And there I get killed because my bow, I either missed or I needed to reload there. And you don't have a med pack when running medic. And one of the vote kicks, one of the minions just switched me to get my kit to revive me. So I'm actually playing as support now again. And as support plays, you don't have your bag of goodies. No sandwiches, no claymores, none of the fun stuff. So it really gimps whatever class you are when using the bow. So it's not this OP thing. And, I've seen a lot of posts on the forums and some Reddit stuff saying bow was OP. No, it's not. Look at that reload. It's like 36.73 repeating seconds. And here I'm trying to switch classes again, and I can't find his kit. So that's why I'm kind of looking down at his body there, because it's my due diligence to try to keep him alive. Because that's what we do. When we play together, we try to keep each other alive. We're calling out shots. We're calling out locations, because obviously the minions, I taught them how to play competitively. They won a 5v5 infantry-only championship, and the key, one of the major keys to their success is communication. You call out enemy positions. We actually named every spot on this map. Every map we played competitively. So if you're listening to live comms, you hear some pretty goofy stuff like A1, A2, A3, A garage, and I missed a free shot. The one thing I like about the balance bow is it does have faster travel than, say, the other stock bow. And it does one shot in the chest up to whatever meter. There's a couple guides out there that'll give you guys the exacts, maybe 20 meters. Maybe less, but it can one shot in the chest, much like the sniper rifles at that range. Again, the only difference is the velocity. The velocity just sucks on these things, as it should. This should be something hard to use. It shouldn't be easy, and I have to give DICE props for not making these bows OP. It really could have been OP if it traveled at like 400 meters a second, 350 meters a second. That'd have been OP as all get out. So we're having a little bit of fun with this. And let's kind of talk about my keyboard woes. And I think there are many other players out there like me that have the same problem. So first, before we go into it, let's talk about the K60. The K60 is a full Corsair mechanical keyboard, and it's absolutely amazing. Well made, heavy duty, got a lot of weight to it. It's got this kick-ass wrist guard that I love. It actually elevates your hand above the keyboard. So I'm going to post a link to the K60 so you can get an idea of what this thing looks like. And it performed rather well. Every once in a while, a key would get stuck when I'm typing, and that's a known issue with that keyboard. It was kind of annoying as you're typing out an email. You hit the delete button, and there goes your whole email really quickly, so you got to go look up the draft. Or you're playing in the game, and something gets stuck. It's every once in a while, once in a blue moon. So I could live with that, because the ergonomics, the feel of it, the performance aspect was amazing. So what I started having was, as I'm trying to strafe back and forth, sometimes it wouldn't take my inputs. Or if I'm holding down like a combination, like forward move, strafe right, shift, it would actually stop all movement combined. And I plug this thing in through USB, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I get this little cheapy download program which tests the inputs on your keyboard. What it does is it brings up a keyboard overlay, and you can look at it as you're mashing keys. And so I'd go, get out of my game. I'd go mash on 20 keys and start changing it, and it picked up every single one. So I'm like, this can't be the keyboard. There's got to be something else wrong. So I start Googling things. Lo and behold, people with K60s are having, and K90s are having issues in Battlefield 3. They're having input lag and input issues. And again, this is just a keyboard thing. That guy's doing some knife work right there. I think that was 2 people in a row. So I decided to keep Googling and keep looking because I didn't want to believe it's my cherished K60. Because once you fall in love with a piece of gaming equipment like a mouse or a keyboard, that's it for you. I'm going to make the analogy to playing sports. Let's say you're a basketball player. Shoes have a big thing to playing basketball. If you try to pivot, cut, do a crossover, grip and movement is everything. Feeling comfortable, having precise movement is everything. If you lose that ability, it feels like the end of the world until you get used to something new again. So what had happened is my basketball shoes ended up having flat bottoms on them. I couldn't move. I was sliding all around. It was bad. It was happening every couple of seconds in Aftermath maps. It was really weird. Once I visited an Aftermath map and went back to vanilla or close quarters, it wouldn't stop. So either there's a problem Battlefield 3 or there's a fail something in the K60. So after tweeting out a couple things, I got back a lot of nice replies from my community members saying, hey, wait a minute, I'm having the same problems. I have a K60 or I have a K90. Hey, I'm also having that problem. I've got this keyboard. It's like, man, maybe it is the keyboard. So I'm a very rational person. I like to make thought out decisions with life in general, but I didn't. I actually went to the local Best Buy and plunked down some cashola. And I actually went out and bought another Razer keyboard. I came from Razer Gaming, and I went to Corsair keyboard just because Rival Smack talked me into it, and I was thankful. He gave me a very nice review on a keyboard, and I went back. I bought the Black Widow Ultimate. And I'm going to link this thing down below so you guys can see what I'm talking about, but I rigged it. X Factor, what do you mean you rigged it? Well, the Black Widow Ultimate is a full mechanical keyboard, just like the K60. Every key is mechanical. The switches are different. I think mine had cherries and these have blues, I think. But I'll give you that information down below. But I'm not having, the second I plug this in, this keyboard in, and install the drivers, I'm having 0 problems. Hasn't happened once. So, out of curiosity, what do? I plug back in the K60. Instantly have more problems. I've looked up everything from registry edits to polling rates to USB polling tweaks. I mean, I've done everything and looked at everything. So after spending probably 8 hours on various forums and websites and having a lot of confidence in Corsair, I gave up. I'm off the Corsair bandwagon. So I actually don't have a full Razer keyboard. This thing is a hybrid of both. So that kick-ass wrist guard that comes with the Corsair K60, guess what? It fits on the Razer, and it slides into a nice little slot, and it doesn't move. I didn't have to tape it, didn't have to do anything. So the railing system on the Razer allows you to stick the wrist guard in, and it fits perfectly. I got so lucky because I got addicted to this wrist guard. What else did I do? Well, some of the control keys, your movement keys, your WASD keys, I popped off the Corsair keys and placed them on the Razer. So the Razer keyboard is a fully backlit keyboard, LED keyboard with customizable dim levels and all that crazy stuff. And out the gate, it's really bright, so I suggest toning that down just a little bit so you're not blinded by the light, if you will. And I'm really happy. This Razer keyboard is phenomenal. Of course, every new piece of hardware takes a couple seconds to get used to, but I could not be happier. Again, there's going to be a link down below to this Black Widow Ultimate. And again, I use the Death Adder. I've always been a Razer guy. I used to use Microsoft mouse, you know, the G500 series and all that stuff, and the MX series. I probably used, God, 10 Logitech mouse and a couple Microsoft mouse before I found the Death Adder because it just fits my hand right. And again, it's about personal preference on some of this stuff. You know, the Logitechs, the Razers, they're all great. The you know, the Sensei, you know, there's so many different mice out there that are great. You know, again, it's personal preference. So I'm going to, you know, refer people to this Black Widow if they're having problems like I'm having. If you're having these input problems with your keyboard, you're using a Corsair product, it is the keyboard. Or it's something with the game and the keyboard. I don't know if it's a bad coding in BF3. I don't know enough about the programming language, but a keyboard's a keyboard, right? So anyway, we're starting to get our teeth kicked in here. At this point, I've done a good job of sticking with the skill bow, the balance bow, and pistol only. But I'm all about trying to win this match. So I go, I think, 21-3 here, just balance bow. And enough is enough. And this is kind of a funny instance. When people are down, you can't really shoot them with the bow. I've had multiple times where that's happened, so I don't recommend that guy, because he was getting up, I think. But there's something really weird with people that are being revived, not prone, just revived. There's something buggy with it. So I don't recommend wasting your skill bow on that player, because again, it's going to take you 37.83 repeating until you get another skill bow shot out. That's the other thing with this kit, is the hit registration in the chest seems to be off. Or I hit this guy in the arm and he's still alive. There is a damage modifier when you hit people in the chest. It's much like the other sniper rifle, the bolt-action sniper rifles. So you can one-shot people in the chest, but you can't take on multiple targets. I can't preach that enough. If you walk into two guys, a 2v1, there's no way you're going to win that fight unless they're both legally blind. If you walk into a 1v1 heads-up fight and it's more than, say, 35 meters out, you're probably going to lose that fight 50% of the time at least. I don't care how good you get at this thing. As you can see, I'm really racking up the kills, but I'm having to play from cover a lot more than I usually would. I'm having to cherry-pick shots, and that's not the way I'd usually play if I had an assault rifle or support kit or AS Val or MP7 or M5K. I'd be more up in people's face because you can deal with more. So in the actual longevity of this match, I'm really gimping myself, as would anybody who decides to pick up this combination. And just for you, those who don't know, actually Bentley is on my lap right now, and she's talking to me because Mommy's getting her hair did. So if you guys are having these keyboard issues, don't go nuts. Don't go reformatting your computer like I just did, because at first I thought I had too much crazy junk on there, or virus from the prawns, or whatever you want to think. So I went through all those little scenarios in my head before I went out and bought a new keyboard after doing some forum reading. And hopefully this helps out a couple other people who are out there having the same issue. Grab a junker keyboard out of your closet, or go pick up a keyboard from a buddy, an extra one, and see if that remedies your issue. If so, you know what the fix is, and you don't have to go nuts over it. So in a couple seconds here, I'm actually going to switch to my main kit and end the footage, because at this point in time, we're getting our stuff pushed in. And as cool as the bow is to get kills with, you gimp yourself so much, it gets frustrating. So we actually come back and pretty much cap these guys out, I believe. And the win is at least 150 tickets, 125 tickets. And you can't do that when you got 4 guys running Pro Bow. So shout out to the minions who stuck it out with the Pro Bow kit. If you guys have any questions, don't forget to ask them down below. Or if you're having keyboard issues, I've read up more on keyboards and USBs than I ever would imagine. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for supporting me. Don't forget to check out the 2 links below, both to my new keyboard, the Black Widow Ultimate, and my old keyboard, the K60. And I will post a picture of my contraption of a keyboard, which is a combination of the two. So enjoy your day, YouTubers. We will see you soon.